Did you hear her? Unreal. What's up, everybody?
Hi.
Let's see. I'm trying to get it going. We're a second here late because Erin had some trash to throw away. I blame it on her. So
Starting out with stories.
Can't see you yet, Moses. Donald Mann. Hello, Gunner. So we're here. 3 likes already with 6 people watching. That's great. Sometimes.
Thanks.
So we are picking up kind of where we left off on the 69 Camaro full build. I'm kind of wondering if maybe it's taking too long doing it this way, playing out. So if you can, leave a comment and let me know if it's taking too long this way, but I'm really trying to cover the whole build and every aspect of it and everything that I do and everything that I go through. So it's more or less teaching you guys how to do it, but also for the guys that like to just hang out with us. Somebody going by with their music playing. Too bad it wasn't looted or tooted or whatever it is. Rooted, tooted, looted, or whatever in the back end.
Scalded dog.
Squat, the Carolina boys. But anyways, I'll go over some of the stuff that I've done already and show you guys what I've done off camera, because when we left, the floor was sitting on it, the trunk floor, and I wanted to kind of speed it up a little bit, so I'll go over what I did and why I did it, and also a couple things that I want to finish up tonight and get the floor set back on there. So I guess if Erin wants to grab the camera, I'll get my safety glasses and I'll get my you know, I gotta have a drink. RC Cola, no
Sugar.
moon pie.
Sugar, sugar, sugar.
No moon pie, but RC Cola.
The jig plans are not done yet. Our life is insane when it comes to our schedule, guys. So y'all just be patient with us. We are working on it. We have not forgotten about it, but there is a lot going on. A lot.
The jig plans are done. I've just got to create a couple folders and add a couple of things, and hopefully tomorrow
the schematics are done. Entire thing.
I will have it finished up, but I want to go home tonight and look on my computer and look for some of my old pictures, because I did take a lot of old pictures of some of the measurements, and I was thinking about maybe including that on there, but hopefully tomorrow. And then I got a couple people already have purchased some, and some that want to. I am going to get them out there, and I'm also going to put a disclaimer in there that I am not responsible if your car is not built right. I can only be responsible for my jig in my shop and how I build it. The jig plans are exactly as my jigs are, but who knows? You know how today's society is. But anyways, I'll let Erin get the thing, and we'll jump into work so we can get as much accomplished as we can tonight, before we lose anybody, because last time it was like the last 10 minutes and I went to preaching, and it seems like the number drastically went down, so I'm going to drastically move that number down. But I want to say I love you guys, and Jesus Christ loves you as well. I just want to put that here at the beginning, so you know. That way, if you want to leave now, if I talk about Jesus, then you can leave. I hope you stay. I'm not trying to push a religion on you. I'm not trying to...
That's because it's not a religion, it's a relationship.
Yeah, I'm not, and I'm not trying to condemn anybody.
No.
I'm not a judge.
Judgment-free zone.
Yeah, God's the only judge that we're going to go before, and I'm going to leave that to Him. All I can do is share a testimony of my life and what He's done for me, in hopes that it brings you and share the gospel. But anyways, we'll go over here. I know Albert likes to hear me preach. So right now, let me go over here and get these gloves, and we'll grab some pictures here.
Albert said preach.
So, got my safety glasses, and I have the trunk floor off. Let me put this up. I have the trunk floor back off, and I will get it flipped over, but first I'll show you guys what I was talking about right here. I drilled these out that way that this top piece will lay and the bottom piece can move. It just helps relax it, because with it welded, it's kind of like a square block and nothing wants to move when it's attached together, kind of structurally. So I went ahead and did both sides, and you can actually see this one jump back a little bit when I released it, because there's a gap in there. And that one, you can see the hole move, but it does that. I also removed the plates for the convertible, and as you can see, not painted underneath.
Came that way.
Prime spot for rust, but came that way, and nothing I can do about it except for I removed them, because this is not a convertible. This car is a convertible, and it didn't have the plates, so I had to put the plates in on this car, which I already have. I actually used a set of plates that I had already taken out, and I drilled the holes. I have a template, and put the plates into this car. I removed these. I did my same spot weld removal trick that I did in episode 2, I think. I removed them, and as you can see, I have one boo-boo right there. I am going to weld that up, and I will weld these holes up just to do away with it, so that it doesn't reflect as being a convertible. Dynacorns floors, they come that way. They come with the convertible brace already on them.
Can you leave it if your car is not a convertible?
You can leave it if your car is not a convertible. It's not going to affect anything, except for if somebody that is trying to fake a all original car, which
so somebody that's a purist might point it out.
They would point it out. They'd be like, your floor's been replaced because you've got a convertible floor in there. I can definitely see the spots. Now you can definitely see where the spot welds were, but you know, you could get in there and hammer it. I'm not going through all that. I mean, this car is, unless somebody buys it before I get to the point, this car is going to be tubbed, just because most people want it tubbed, but some don't. But if somebody buys it before that time, I won't tub it. I'm trying to think if I did anything else besides prepping. I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna work on this side over here and show you guys. Well,
glitch in the system.
I can't. Maybe you can look on this one right here. I was gonna set this up there, but didn't. But right in here, you can see that there is less than a finger between the outside of that hole and the edge of the trunk floor. This is a AMD trunk floor, and this is a 68 car. Because if this would have been a 69 and we had an AMD trunk floor, I would have swapped and put the Dynacorn trunk floor on this one, and I wouldn't have had to do the brace removal and the brace add. So for those that's probably going to ask that question, why didn't you use that floor in that car? This is 68 lanes, this is 69. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to show you, well, I'll show you right now before we go. You see how far that is? It's almost a finger and a half difference. And if you look at the angle of this one, it's pretty straight. It does have a little curve to it, but it's pretty much straight. If you look at this one, from the straightness should be way over here. So that is way bulged. So when you put a wheelhouse in it, the wheelhouse is going to want to bulge in, and when it does, it's going to want to kick the top in, and that's going to change all your structure and everything that you're doing in the end, and you will fight it and you won't know what's going on. It's better to have this right here to where your wheelhouse pulls out, because if it pulls out, it's not going to affect it as much as it wanting to push out. When it kicks the wheelhouse, it's going to kick the outer lip, and it's going to cause your quarter to raise, and it's going to mess your whole build up. Trust me, I've built enough of them to know. So it's actually that corner. I'm gonna turn this around, and I will show you guys another way that you can tell that that corner is messed up is right here. This part is supposed to be spot welded to this. When that lip folds over, it's supposed to be spot welded to it. If you look at your factory car, the part of the floor that overhangs is supposed to be spot welded. We know that this is in the correct location because it's in line with the indentation here. It's up against this, and it's lined up with the holes that they cut in it. So that tells me that their stamping is overlaying, or either they got the piece cocked in there or something. But this, if you buy a 69 Camaro floor from AMD, it's the exact same way. This is a Dynacorn. I actually talked with AMD and I said, I think somebody's either selling your parts or you're selling their parts or something, because both of these floors are exactly messed up in the same spot. So that tells me that this thing was stamped on the same machine or went down the same line. So for you guys out there that say they all come from the same spot, this might be the evidence. I don't know. But like I say, Dynacorn stuff works great. AMD stuff works great. Some of the others work great.
All of them require a little.
They all require. If this stuff was simple as just throwing it together, without any schooling or anything like that, we could all be doctors if we wanted to.
We wouldn't have a job if this was snap type.
So let me put my earbuds in because I'm gonna be hammering. Erin's got hers on. Trying to turn it to where I can hear.
You look like you're just tapping your face.
I had to scratch. So
he's picking on me when I wear my dreads. That's how I scratch my head.
So I'm gonna use a block, and I'm gonna try and dolly it from right back here up, and I'm just gonna try and fold this thing over more so it gives me a little more relief. So I'm gonna try and go about it. And you can actually see I've done hammered some, but there's a gap right in there, and that should be hard up against that, because if you look at this side, well, this side's different, but you can tell it's welded over there. But we're gonna already getting straight. You can see how much difference. My mouth all weird. Now I'm in this corner here. I'm gonna cut it and relieve it a little bit because it's wanting to bunch up. So I'm gonna get my cutter, and I'm gonna give it a little relief. I'm gonna relieve it right where they had a relief in it when they folded it, but I need to relieve it on down more. My arm's fatigued. But that's more like it. Now if I wanted to, I could spot weld it there, but when I go to doing the wheelhouse, I would go ahead and just hit that with the spot welder when I weld my inner wheelhouse to it. But if this thing gets tubbed, you wouldn't even have had to do all this. It's getting tubbed, but I wanted to share this part with you guys so that you would know how to fix yours and if you were having some kind of issue.
And to answer your question from the beginning, there's a lot of people saying that they like the new format, they like the speed you're going at because it's showing all the details, and they want you to keep on keeping on.
Well, that's what we're gonna do. I know if somebody's watching and they're trying to find a certain spot in it, it's gonna be hard to go through a lot of footage and try to figure out what's going on. So I appreciate everybody that tunes in and watches. So I'm gonna go over here and finish drilling out this part. What I started on. So when we left last Tuesday, I had drilled out only this plate and reset it in the right location and drilled the hole out a little bit. But I'm not sure if you can tell on the camera, but you can see that one looks pretty straight compared to this one down here. If you look in reference to that one, it looks like this one's kicked this way. And I actually put a square up on it, and you can see that with the square lined up, it's away from it down here. So this has got to come back, and if that came back, that would put me right in line with this hole. So what I'm thinking, I said in the last video, is I believe that their laser is off and they're cutting the hole in the pan in the wrong spot, and then the man on the line that's laying these up there is lining that hole up and welding it, and he don't know because he don't build cars, he builds floors. So I'm gonna continue drilling out. I drilled it with 1/8 drill, basically what I thought to be through the top layer, which is a little thick. And then I drilled it with the, I think this is 5/16, the one that I use for spot welds when I do plug welds. And now I have my flat bit that I made. You could probably just purchase an end mill and come out better than trying to. I showed how I make this. It's pretty simple. You basically cut the drill bit off, and then you start with it in the center and you roll it to give it some relief, because if you don't have no relief, it'll ride on the high spot and it won't never ride on the edge that cuts. Same as a drill bit. So I got them drilled. I didn't drill out these. I'm hoping to move it without moving this piece. I think that only these two spot welds penetrated through this, the floor, and this. I know these two didn't because they're in that valley right there, and if they did, the bottom would be crushed. So it's not in there, so I'm hoping. Have to be careful where there's a radius when you do this. It's going to cut high. It's going to cut deeper on one side or up the radius than the other. They do make a drill, for those that's probably wondering, they do make a drill that is for drilling spot welds out, but when you drill the spot welds out with it, it actually drills through the piece that you're doing and leaves like a 1/8 drill, because it looks like this and then it has a 1/8 bit in the center to keep it centered. So it ends up leaving a tiny hole, but if you're going to go back and weld those tiny holes, you might as well go back and weld a full hole. So I take my chances with this. If I blow through, I'll just weld the whole hole up. If I don't and I'm good, then I save myself some time. I think I got them pretty much. I'm gonna grab my little scraper slash, I don't ever use it for a scraper hardly, but it's just a little, like a gasket scraper, and I use it for cutting spot welds. Sometimes I drive it under there a little bit to give it some pressure. I kind of figured those were going to give me a problem because it's through two thick pieces of metal. So all of them are loose. I think that one's loose. Still got one. And you see how quick that was. So now got it moved. I will rotate this thing back up, make sure I'm sunk down in the back corner, and I will check this hole and I will drill it out. Then I'll line this back up over it. Definitely will sand this, sand that, and I will paint under it. That way it has a little more treatment. Don't say I made that look easy. You can do it too. I got faith in you. I guess I could have kind of left it down. I'll move it back down once I get the floor pulled back. I just want to make sure that I'm tight back and I got this in, so I should be good. I'm gonna get a clamp on there if I can find one. I was gonna take that one, but I hate to move it. I'm grabbing one. Grab this, clamp bit, get it pulled back over where it needs to be. And I'm gonna get my bit and cut that out a little, because I look like I'm really good under here. I just wanted to make sure I was tight into my frame rail as far as I could go. I put my earbuds up. I'll lay it down, I guess. I just wanted to make sure. And it's kind of hard to get all up under it. But this way we can see it a little better. Now, some people's like, how do you know that's moved? Well, this firewall is sitting where a factory one would. A factory car will sit on this jig and bolt up here, there, just like my floor jig, the build jig. This is exactly it, except for it don't have all the bracing and it allows it to rotate. So I know, and we've built over 700 cars, and probably half or close to half have been Camaros, Camaros and Firebirds. So, and never had a complaint, and every one of them get done the same way. So. I just wanted to lift it up because I don't want to eat my hole out, because if I did every one of them and hit my hole in there, then my jig hole would be wrong eventually. So I gotta get it. I got it open, and when I put my plate back on here and I plug weld it back on, and I go on the lift and I start cleaning up the bottom of the car and any screw holes that I have through it, I will end up welding that up and shaping it from the underside to make it disappear. One earbud off. I feel like I talk like really, really loud when I got the earbud in, but I talk loud anyway. So.
I like the way you talk.
I can't believe I did that and didn't even break through none of them. Boy. So sometimes, like I did on this, when you're pulling it it wants to, trying to find my hammer. My Martha Stewart hammer. When you're pulling on it, sometimes it wants to raise it up and that'll cause your part to sit up. I want my part to be as flat as I can to this and as flush as I can. I don't want no gap under it. Gaps allow it to get trash and stuff underneath it, and then that trash sits in there and it's just, it's not a good day. So I usually just little mounds, just tap them down. And plus, if you have it high and you try to weld those plug welds, you tend to barely penetrate the bottom piece and all your weld gets concentrated onto your top piece, and that leaves for your top piece to come off, and you'll get hot weld on your top piece, but you'll get a cold weld on your lower piece and it won't penetrate and it'll allow it to break free. So I try to make sure it's clamped down tight and it's good. And these little things can cause it to stick up, and that's for some of us that are not pro excellent welders. This will help you out in the long run. It's better for them to be drove past, because it's only going to go so far on all these other levels. You just don't want it to stick up. Like that's, I can feel a little knot, and I don't want to reach up in there, so I'm just going to drive it back with the, until that knot disappears. There. And then if it's got a dent on the bottom side, when I go up under it, I hit it and clean it. Right now, we're good. I'm gonna grind this bottom of this, because you don't want none of these burrs that's sticking up. You don't want none of them to keep this raised up. And I always talk about anytime you remove something or you pry on it, you end up distorting it. So me sticking this up on here and getting it lined up, these ain't that bad, but from where I drove the piece in there and pried it up, sometimes I like to just take it and hold it out here, or get it on the anvil and drive it back some to make it tighter against the part that I pulled it from. Because when you pry on it, it's going to cause it to roll, and then you're going to get down here, you're going to get all this lined up, you're going to be like, oh yeah, this looks great. And then you're going to start welding, and you're going to realize that's sticking up, and you're trying to hammer on a springy piece that's not going to get back, and you can't get in there and get a clamp, so you have to drive a screw in it. And then when you drive a screw in it, yes, it'll suck it up, but then you got a screw hole that you got to fill, top and bottom. So I try to work it down. And get it down where it's tight, and I don't have to worry about that no more. So I'm gonna get this lined up. I'm gonna get my screw and I'm gonna put it in there. I don't know what I did with it. I had it on the jig. I bet you I used it. Let's see if I got one. Unreal, unreal, I tell you. I don't know where it's at. I'm gonna walk back here and grab one. I probably used it on this Camaro. Got one. So I'm gonna get this started. I'm gonna get this pushed in. Oh, look at it. I'm gonna get a clamp to put on here because I don't want it to move. I'll make sure my screw's in the center. Now, I can tack it, and if I put this on there, I'm way better than I was. So, I can tack it, and I can put my seat pan on here and see how it lines up, but I know it's good, and I can look at that one and visually look down the line, and they look both the same. This is pretty much almost in the exact same spot that it came from, and you can tell that these spot welds are pretty close, but you can tell that it shifted from that way about a ½ inch. So it was really, this end was in the correct spot, this end was shifted forward. I just shift that end back. You could probably get away with just drilling them and not them, but if I'm taking this off, I like to go ahead and remove it all. That way I can paint underneath it, which I haven't done. So I got to take it up, paint under it. Some people want to do weld through. Weld through is really expensive. So I'm just going to OE coat, and I know when I weld, I'll burn through this. So you can't 100% protect everything, no matter what. If you spot weld, there's still going to be a spot where paint was burned away. If you plug weld, there's still going to be a spot where paint's burned away. So this is just to keep a majority of it out. Place to build moisture. You drop a drink in the floorboard, it runs under here, and then water or Coca-Cola gets in there and eats it up. Or your RC Cola. So, and you ain't gotta be no painter. A light coat will do it. You ain't gotta kill it. Let it dry here, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray this. I'll probably get I got my air nozzle so I can try and get it done quickly.
Who's painting?
So this is just OE coat medallion. It basically dries the same color as this. We're good. We're good as we're gonna go. I don't want to take too much time just doing all this, so I'm gonna try to get it close and go with it. And I can still tell my spot there, and I can tell down here. Clamp that, And I'm gonna get some longer clamps put up there. Don't be afraid to use clamps and keep everything nice. I usually try and like move the clamp around with me as I'm going so that I can keep my weld tight. So I'm down. I'm just going to tack maybe 2 of them for right now, and then we'll move on to the back. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time right there. You guys got the idea, I hope. If you don't, go back to part 2. I want to double check under here and make sure that the floor is still where it needs to be, because I don't want to have to redo it. I like to do things one time, and I like to do it right the first time, because I don't want to be bitten in, especially when you plug weld. Because when you use a spot welder, you can mess up one time because you can always drill it out and spot weld or plug weld. But if you do a plug weld, you ain't getting it back off without tearing something up. You're gonna be buying something else. So I don't want to mess it up, and that's why I'm just gonna tack it too, so we can move on. So got one, I'm gonna hit another. I want to get that one, but I want to get a little tighter, so I'm gonna move the clamp closer to it. And what I do is I start in the middle, and then I walk out to the outside of it, and I come around with it so that I'm burning the outer wall of this into the floor around the outside. But I get it started in the center so that it reaches temperature, because if you just, when you first hit it, it don't have all the power that it needs to weld. If you use especially a 120, you'll notice when you first hit, it don't really work that good, and especially with it being painted, it takes a second for the heat to build up, and then it starts flowing good. So I like to start out in the center, walk to the edge of the wall, and then I go around the edge of the wall and then back to the center. And you can hear it by the way it burns. And we'll I'll leave the clamps on and we'll let it go. We'll flip the table up and you can see the bottom and see the penetration. If you're not seeing a penetration underneath about the same size as what you got on the top, your weld's not going to hold.
Got 60 people watching. Thank you guys for joining us.
I would go on up with it, but all my stuff's over here.
I can get under it.
Hopefully there's some spots there and I'm not lying, but you can see it. The spots are almost the size of my top weld, so I know I've got good penetration. I can actually see it right there. So when I go to clean up the bottom of the car, I will just take my Scotch-Brite and I will hit that and it'll look beautiful. So that just lets me know that I'm good. If you're not seeing a nice pattern that size underneath, you're not burning through. want to get this trunk floor. Let me spray it real quick. The lip. Well through, because this will get spot welded. Yeah, spot welded. So this is going to go up and under the main floor.
You need me to set the camera down?
Nah, I'm gonna get it. I was just trying to figure out which way I wanted to go. I probably should have locked my jig down so it ain't rocking and rolling.
But as you can see, these panels are sturdy, so don't be afraid to, they're not Easter eggs, they're not gonna break just by sitting them up on the jig.
I mean, I try not to dent them and all that, but I've got to lift it up and shove it down under there, which I might end up having to, yeah. I get it close. This side I've got that's the problem with taking the floor off. Usually I have the trunk floor first. So got it down there. This side. There we go. Yeah. Now I'm going to get my back pieces back on and get it lined up if I can find them. I don't know what it did with them. Oh, they're laying right here.
Quit looking.
Now once, probably next week, next Tuesday, I will go over being a spot to measure with a tram so that you can locate this at home without these here. These just make it quick and easy for me to be able to get this thing lined up. I'm going to undo the screw on that side so that I can get some more play out of it. I think this is the right one. Right now, I ain't got no play to be able to move. And this floor, can't get it to go over. I don't know why. Trying to do it backwards. Y'all get to see me fight. You gotta fight.
Boy, you're right.
Too far. That's better. This corner's still giving me a little problem because this is the side that had to get folded in. And I was looking for my Martha Stewart, but she's missing right now. She's on the other side. I'm trying to find what, I can't remember what size I made these. But snug them up a little bit. And then I have some bolts that I'm gonna put through to help line it up.
10 minutes left.
Oh man. I'll put the nut on the inside so I can get a ratchet on it with the washer. Which is pretty tight against it. I don't think it's going anywhere. And lose some washers. But I still like to keep them in there, that way nothing moves on me. When I go to welding it, everything stays in line. Man, we're good there. Now I'm gonna put my bolts back in underneath. I'll have to started. I don't know what to do with my ratchet. Quit looking, I found it. Now, in the last video I told you guys to put the spring hangers in, and that's going to help locate your floor off of your frame rails. Well, the frame rail is pinned in the front and the rear, and it's on my jig, so I know they are in the correct spot. And then to locate the back end of my floor, I put the spring perch in there, and it's only going to sit so far. You don't have much space in between it. I have to get a clamp. I'll go ahead and take this one off. Down, put the other screw in. Hopefully. And now I need to loosen. I wish I could, I guess I can, tilt it up a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. I figured there was something up there I was going to lose. I don't know what. It's just my hammer. So I'm going to unloosen this bolt because I've got it kind of cocked a little bit, and that's not seated. I'm gonna loosen this bolt, but I wanna make sure that my frame rail don't move, so I'm gonna put my pin back in it. Doing the car this way just shows you guys every aspect of it, and there's no cut, and you get to see me struggle. Nothing hidden. Speaking of that, if you guys enjoy watching us, pretty soon we will be possibly, it's in the works and the talks, we're waiting on the contract to come in. We will be doing a episode of Graveyard Cars with Mark Warman again. So y'all guys stay tuned for that, and you'll see us on Graveyard Cars. We did the Phantom Cuda here before for Mark Warman, and we are fixing to do another Cuda for him.
Mark said it's going to be kind of like Phantom Cuda 2.0. We're just waiting on the logistics to get put together, paperwork and all that good jazz, but we had a fantastic meeting between Auto Metal Direct and Mark on the phone, and he wants us to build him another car.
So, and we know how filming is. They'll come film and here, and we'll build the car, and then they'll go back and do the rest of it, and then it probably will be a year before the episode comes out, because it just takes a while for all that editing and stuff.
And that's where the contract comes in, because we don't know exactly what we'll be allowed to release before the TV part airs.
We did ask him on the phone if we could go ahead and share it and talk about it on my YouTube channel, and he said, yeah, that's awesome. So, pretty cool guy. I know some people dislike him over the TV series and they see him and all that, but in actuality, he is a really cool dude.
And y'all please understand that TV persona is a little bit of a put on.
Yes. I don't know, me with TV probably won't do very well, because I'm going to be Juby no matter what. I'm not going to be anybody other than myself. God made me who I am, and that's who I'm going to be. And they probably wouldn't like me on TV, because I'd be using it as a platform to share the gospel with as many people as I could. I think that's probably why my channel don't get very many views and I don't get all the likes, is because I share the word and I hashtag God and all that, and when they see those things up there, they tend to not put you in the algorithm. But I'm not going to change that to get views, because the ones that need to see it are the ones that's going to see it.
3 minutes left.
So I guess we're pretty good. Floor is back together. We moved that piece. It's looking good. This part right here where I did all that movement, you can see that I've actually got a little bit more movement. Now when we come back next Tuesday, if I don't do one in between, but definitely Tuesday, I'll be clamping this and we'll be rolling it over, and then I'll show you guys a big clamp that I use to pull it down nice and tight, which is this clamp with some wood. I like to put a piece of wood so I don't damage it, and I suck it down, and I either do a plug weld or I tack it in that area, and then I come along and do my spot weld. So next Tuesday we'll be probably pretty much welding on this. I will go ahead and get this welded out, get that welded out and cleaned up, and we won't have nothing to do with the front no more. We'll be working on the rest of the back, and I will get a measurement pulled for you guys to be able to locate the back of your trunk floor on this 69, and I will also do it on the 68. The 68 is going to be exactly the same as the 67. So the measurement for the 68 over here will be exactly the same on 67, and this one will be different. The 69 is different. So I guess Aaron can put the camera on the thing, and we'll say our goodbyes. And I'm sorry it's dragging out, but
don't be sorry. People are saying that it's going great. They love your new format.
But at least we're getting a little bit of activity with you guys being able to talk, and we're also able to get more accomplished and more content instead of standing around for 15 minutes and talking and then building and then standing around for another 15 minutes. We're trying to keep it short, sweet, an hour, and move on.
So if there were any questions that got asked in the comments, my phone and the tablet were sitting over here. I kind of kept an eye on it a little bit, but I didn't read any questions. So if there's any unanswered questions, you can always email us. I'm gonna put that in real quick, and we'll try to bring it up on our next episode.
Also, I can't never go back and look at all the live comments. So after the video posts to YouTube, go on there and comment the question, and I will definitely read those until we get to where there's like 9 million people. I won't obviously be able to look at all that, but I will try to look through them and scan through and find the best ones, and then I will answer those questions on the next video. So anyways,
yep.
Love you guys. God bless you all. I hope everybody had a happy Resurrection Day. I look forward to next Tuesday where we can get some more welding on this and we can actually start doing some measurements and getting to the technical stuff. Right now we're trying to work through all the quirks and techniques on how to get this thing a good platform. Like Jesus Christ says, you don't want to build your home or on soil, rocky soil or anything like that. You want to build it on the rock. We want to build this car on the best platform that we can. That's going to help you in the long run. Love you guys. Appreciate your support. God bless you all, and we will see you next Tuesday.
And so that you do see us next Tuesday, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you know when we go live next time. God bless. We love you.
I knew I hired her for a reason. We're out.